Hello there, cartooners. Welcome to Cartooning with Paul. Today, I'm going to show you how to draw Bowser from the Super Mario Brothers. So, let's get started. Hey, cartooners. Welcome back. Yeah, today we're going to tackle the big bad from the Super Mario Brothers franchise. We're going to draw Bowser. So, get ready. There's a lot of lines, a lot of detail to this guy. So, let's see if we can simplify this and have some fun, all right? So, let's draw him in an action pose. We're going to use one of those poses that you see online. So, I'm going to start with his head shape right up here. Okay, I'm just going to draw a circle kind of up high on my page, all right? But we're going to draw in his body. So what I'm going to do is draw in a great big oval shape in here like this. And I want to make sure it's coming down about halfway across the circle here. And we want to make sure, I just did this to round it out, we want to make sure that we draw the proportions in all right. So the size of the head, we're going to measure that with our finger and our thumb. We're going to come down a head height. And this right here is where the bottom of his shell should go. So his hips, his legs will come out here. So let's draw in just a rough idea of where the legs are going to go. So we've got one leg out here like so. And we're going to bend his knee like this. Just a J shape in here. And then, see, it's all really rough at first, right? We don't want to go all the way into all these details and draw him incorrectly. So he's a weird mutant-like turtle, right? So, let's see, we've got the front of his shell here, right? And then, I'm going to draw in his other leg in here like so. And this one, he's going to be kind of stepped forward a little bit. So we're going to draw in his thigh in here like this. And then we're going to bend his knee and draw in his shin and his calf in here like so. And then his foot facing this way, like that. Let's figure out where his arms are going to go. So, here we've got the bottom of his shell in here like this, right? Here's the front. So we've got these curved lines here along the bottom of his shell that act as the chest and stomach, right? And now that we have that in there, we can figure out his shoulders. So I'm going to kind of figure out his shoulder and his upper arm right in here. And then his forearm like this. But I'm drawing this very loosely and very lightly because if we got his arm in here like this and it's coming forward, his hand will be reaching out like this. And we're doing some foreshortening and some perspective in here. This hand is going to be reaching out toward us. So that looks pretty right here. Let's see. Yeah, let's just draw in the hand just so that it looks like we've accomplished something. So he's going to have fingers that are going to be curled out with some claws as if he's grabbing for us. So I'm just going to lightly throw in these circular oval shapes in there. And then his thumb will be in here like this. Now, if you can't see what this looks like, don't worry, you're going to see it right now. I'm going to draw in some final line in here. All right, first, we'll give him his claws. And they look like cone shapes, to be honest with you here. it's a video game. It's got to be rendered like a video game. They didn't draw in any real nasty shapes in there for this character. All right, so we're going to just draw in what we want to see at the end. Did you see what I did there? Here, don't worry. We've got 2 more claws. So we're just going to darken in that cone shape and then darken in around the finger like that. Just like so. All right. And now the thumb, draw in that cone facing this way. And then, there we go. And now let's just finish this. Like that. That looks pretty good to me. So now we may as well go back up the arm. So he's got these spiky bands that go around his, first of all, around his wrist. And he's got these cone spikes, kind of like his claws, right? But we're going to give him some muscle there. But then it's covered by another band. We're just going to wrap it around. Make sure it's curvy. If it's not curved, you're not going to buy into the 3-dimensionality of the character. Okay? So just make sure that it looks like a cylinder. And then before you darken in any lines, you can draw in those cones. And here, let's draw in one of those cones the right way. Here, we're just going to start with an oval and then build from it. There we go. That way, we're not really cheating it too much. All right, so I've got that arm in there. We'll worry about his upper shell and all those spikes in a little bit, but let's draw in his face. All right, so we're going to worry about the back of his shell and all those spikes at the end of the sketch. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw in the things that are more forefront, right? Let's draw in his face for now. That'll make it. So remember this circle we drew. All right, he's going to be looking right at us. So I'm going to draw in my vertical line in there. And then I'm going to draw in the horizontal line right up here. It's a little up higher than the halfway point. Before I do anything, I'm going to draw in an oval right in here underneath that line. All right, so we're going to break this down because we've got quite a lot of shape in here. We're going to draw a V shape right in here like this at first. All right, and then I'm going to give him a bridge to that nose. I'm going to curve in that V a little bit. And then, right here at the bottom of that V, I'm going to break his mouth into 2 shapes. So what this is going to do is give him that mouth shape. On either side of this bridge here, I'm just going to bring out that shape like so. But you got to make sure that it kind of matches in there. All right, so now that I've got that in there, let's go in here and we're going to lightly at first draw in these big cheek shapes. They're just C curves or parentheses, right? But they're going to continue down like this. Now we're going to stop right there. And we're going to come back up here and let's give him some teeth. So he's got these fangs right in here, right? Then he's got another tooth on either side there. So from there, let's give him a bit of an open mouth. Now his lower lip is going to bow out like so. And before we do anything, let's give him his bottom teeth. Now these teeth are really cone shapes if you look at them closely. You want to make sure that they're bigger than the top teeth and they kind of nestle right inside here like this. Now that we got that in there, we can start to draw in that bottom lip. Got to give him his tongue. So on the inside here, I'm going to draw in a V shape. It's curved. And then just color that in the back for some depth. And if you want, you can just kind of shade in just a little bit for the middle part of that tongue. So now that I got that in there, his bottom lip kind of acts also as his jaw, right? So we're gonna give him a bit of a cleft chin here. And then it's gonna come into his cheeks. He's a big, strong character. He needs that strong jaw. And it goes into those cheeks just like this. Corners of his mouth here like that. And you know what? I forgot to give him his nostrils. So there are these curved lines in here like so, but you got these openings here at the top that gets a little wider. All right, now that we got that in there, we didn't draw in any eyes yet. So what I'm gonna do is very lightly at first, throw in a circle on either side, right there on that eye line. Gonna give him a cheek line in there like that. Now, before I go darkening in any eyes, let's give him those great big bushy eyebrows. And those eyebrows are really gonna be tilted downward. And they're bushy. So they start off really low and then they're gonna bush out. And you can even, if you'd like, give it a little tufts of hair there. Now that I've got that in there, I'm just gonna darken in that one little spot of that circle that wasn't covered up by either pushing up his cheek or with the eyebrow. I'm gonna do the same on this side, right? So nice and deeply cut eyebrow. Starts off really thin at the front, and then once it goes up, get the tufts of hair in there like that. And then just darken in the only part of the eye that you see there. And his pupils are kind of small. And they go right in, they tuck in right under the eyebrow. Yeah, he looks pretty mad there. That's perfect. So now that I got that in there, I'm just gonna finish off the side of his head. And check this out. He's got this great big head of wild hair. So I'm going to start it here, right between those eyebrows. And it's going to kind of flare out a little like that. He's got some more hair here and here. And the same on this side, except seems to want to flare out just like this. And it's actually going to continue behind his head, but you're not going to see that. And now, what is Bowser without those great big horns, right? So to keep it all symmetrical, we're going to draw through the face. So I'm going to start with a U shape right here, just below the eyes. Very lightly through the head. And now that I've got that in there, give him that ring around the base of the horn, and then darken this in just a little bit. Curve it up. And there we go. Kind of like a crescent moon shape right in there. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Get that ring around the base of the horn, and then it's going to continue up. And you want to make sure that they stay the same shape, same size. Just like that. All right. I need to adjust mine. You might have to adjust yours too. Listen, that's why we draw lightly at first, right? So we take the eraser, we erase what we did, and make sure the second time around. Oh, that's much better. Okay. There, just like so. All right. You know what I'm going to do to differentiate the hair from the horns? I'm just going to lightly shade in my hair. That way, it's a little easier for you to figure out what I've sketched. And we're going to do the same with the eyebrows. I'm going to just shade in the eyebrows. Just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of tone right in there. Yeah, that makes a little more sense now. All right, so now we've got his head drawn in, and we've got that arm that's reaching out toward us. Let's draw in the legs. So the Super Mario Brothers world, it's not extremely detailed, right? Super Mario Brothers is one of those really early on video games. There's not a whole lot of unnecessary extra detail put into these characters. They've added a lot of texture to the characters so they can be rendered for computer animation and such, but for the most part, they're very simplistically shaped. So now that we've got the foot in here, right, we've got to put in his 3 toes, which are just oval shapes overlapping each other, right? And just like in his hand, we're going to draw in some cone shapes for his claws. And they are cones. They're not individual nails, they're just cone shapes. And there we have it, just like that. Now that looks pretty good. Let's do the back leg. And the back leg, I'm just gonna darken in underside here like this. The back of his leg, and then his foot. Oval, oval, oval. And then before we darken any lines, we're going to put in those cones. Oh, they were cones!
They were cones!
Never mind. All right. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, you probably got that. Okay. So, here we go. We'll just put in the top of his foot and bottom of his toe there. And now, in there like that. Perfect. That's looking pretty good so far. All right, so now we're going to do the ribbing in the front of his body here, his front of his torso, or the underside of the shell. So funny, you're not sure if he's from the turtle family or if he's some kind of a turtle dragon kind of character. If you have any insight on what Bowser really is, I am all ears. I am always looking to learn something new. Just got to make sure. We got all that in there. There we go. All right, so we got that in there. Now let's throw in his other arm here. So here we've got a back hand here, and it's also looking to grab, right? He's in a fight stance. He's trying to get Peach, trying to protect her from Mario rescuing her. So let's see, a thumb. And we've got 3 fingers. But this one's going to be angled differently. He's going to be bending his fingers from a different angle. All right, so this looks a little confusing, so we're going to fix it right now. I'm going to draw a cone in here like this. And then like that. All right, the other cone. Like so. And then the final cone, will have it angled in, kind of like this. Like that. And then this cone, it's kind of angled right at us, but that's not going to look right when we draw it. So let's change it a little bit. Cool. All right. That's a little better. Okay. In 3 dimensions, it works. For a line sketch, we got to change it just a little bit. But that looks all right to me. Now that we've got that in there, he's got a band around his wrist with spikes. May as well shade that in while we're at it. So we've got this curled cone here, right, for his tail. And then we've got these great big spikes that come off of it. And they get bigger as they go up the tail. But now that we're here, we're going to draw in his shell. So he's got this great big edge to his shell, this big white curled little shape here. And then on top of that, he's got this great big green shell, followed by more of these spikes. So we're going to have a brown ring around the spike, and then a cone. He's got another one right here. So he's got a green ring, a brown ring around it, and a cone. We're going to do one more back here, but it's back behind the hand. And then you can just draw in the top part of the cone right in there like that. Pretty sure he's got another one right here in the brown ring. Okay, but now to give him a little bit of depth, he's got another one back here, but it's behind, so we're just going to draw a little bit of it. And another one right back here, just a little bit. They actually go around his back. And then we've got some texture in that shell. They're scoots. If you've ever wanted to know what those plates are on a turtle shell, they're called scoots. And they're actually layered with keratin, which is the same stuff that your hair and your fingernails are made of. There's Bowser. So, don't forget to sign your sketch so that everybody knows who drew your drawing of Bowser from the Super Mario Brothers. Guys, this was a little bit of a longer video. I haven't done one of these in a bit, but I had fun with this one. Guys, thank you so much for drawing with me. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and tell your friends about the channel. Thank you so much for drawing with me, guys. Until next time, we'll see you later.